If you are clicking on this video, odds are you are constantly handling staffing issues, barely making a profit despite all your hard work and feeling completely exhausted. I'm glad you're here because you're going to walk away from this video with actionable strategies to apply to your restaurant based on the 20 years that I've been building my own 8-figure restaurant group. So if you're in a position that feels frustrating right now, I get it. I know how hard this is, and that's why I have dedicated myself to helping other owners like you get out of your own way. Streamline your processes like mine and build the restaurant that you can truly own on your terms. I'm Mike Bausch. I own Andolini's Worldwide, a restaurant group in Tulsa, Oklahoma, along with the Unsliced Restaurant System. So let's dive into the first big lesson, which might sound strange, but you have to stop focusing on food and the vibe. What do I mean by that? Let me explain why that's so crucial. But before I get into the details of that, if you are ready to take this seriously, like serious, there's a link below to book your restaurant review call where we will deep dive into your brand and get you on the right track to sustainable growth. You just need to click the link below. All right, first rule, don't treat your business like a hobby. The first hard lesson, you can't treat your business like a hobby. Many owners focus on the food and the vibe because they like the food and the vibe and they neglect operations, marketing, and financials. This is typical. Now, you may say, I'm not neglecting marketing. We have an Instagram. That's not enough. Or you paid someone to do marketing. Like, well, we paid him to do marketing, so we did marketing. That's not enough because that marketing person is only going to appease you. You're their customer. Not your customer as their customer. You're their customer. Same thing for financials. You think, I got a CPA. I did it, right? You didn't, because your CPA is not there to work for you. They're there to work for the tax man and make sure that you have everything cleaned for Mr. Taxman, not for your actionable numbers to make decisions based off of. You, therefore, because you like food, and that's why you open this restaurant, are thinking, well, the only thing I can control is the food, so let me double down on the food. And that is not enough. It's just not. So when you think that you are acting like a careerist, really, are you just doing the stuff you like and nothing else? Because then it's just a hobby. And don't do this like it's a hobby. That's a hard lesson. You might say, no, I'm a serious entrepreneur. No, you're a chef with a kitchen who is trying to say that you're more than that, and you're not yet. And that's a hard ass lesson to bite off. So the first rule here is you need to run your restaurant business like a business. That means you stop and actually process the numbers and data on a weekly basis, understand your KPIs, and the notion of what food cost was last week isn't, I think it's known. The knowledge of what the profit percentage of this business is known by you on the daily. When you do that, you are not conducting this restaurant like a hobby, you're conducting it like a business. And if you are not tracking these things, you're flying blind. You gotta at least bite off on it. Now that's not to crap on you. It's okay. Lots of restaurant owners do this. It just doesn't mean it's good. You're gonna fail doing this. And I get it. You probably don't like all that stuff. I don't either. So learn the skill, then delegate it to get the KPI that you now know what it is and you know the process for, and you can delegate it as such to someone who can just put the numbers in and produce it for you, which does not take having a CPA license. Number 2, and this piggybacks off the first one, which is food will not fix everything. Now, let me be super clear here. Food is a mandate to be in a restaurant, and I mean great food, not just food. Great food is a mandate. If you don't have great food, you have not paid the price of entry into the party. You have to have impeccable, I would have this as my last meal before my death level food for you to get a ticket into the party. But it's just that. It's just a ticket in. It's nothing more than that. So food won't fix everything. What I mean is if you have 4 columns to go from point A to point B, this is where you are, this is where you want to be, a successful restaurant owner. Food supports 1 column of the 4. Metrics, financial, and ops are the other 3 columns. So you cannot reinforce column 1, the food column, to get across the bridge. And a big other lesson that goes along with food not being able to fix everything is don't believe your food is that incredible yet. If your Google score is over 4.8, and you have over 500 reviews, it's safe to say your food is solid. If you have a 4.3 or less on Google and above 500, your food ain't great. Your service and ambiance are not helping anything, but your food is not good. If you say, I'm pretty sure my food's good, and they don't get it. They are the customer. They pay you. They don't like it. Understand that, stop being stubborn, and realize you can make it better. Now, if you have less than 500 reviews, it could be the algorithm, but if you're anything less than 4.5, you could do better on your food. Fact. Just an absolute fact. If you're above 4.8 and have a ton of reviews, food ain't the problem. You got that part figured out. It's time to move on to other things. Number 3. Hands down, this is the largest issue I am seeing right now. If you want to know how to fix it, I'm going to tell you. But before I do that, if you are curious about how to fix this quite easily, book your restaurant review call. Let's figure out what's going on with your brand today and the strategy and plan to get you out of that funk for tomorrow, so you can have sustainable growth, sustainable systems, and a sustainable life with your restaurant. A big part of this is understanding that staff wants to win. Everyone wants to win. If you know that, hey, they want to be great, it's just a matter of me getting them there, then you're in a good power position. If you assume that because they just will never get it, and it's their fault and not yours, you now have put yourself in the victim position. Owning the situation that, hey, they can do it, they just need a path, is a power position. Victim position is, they don't get it, I never needed that, they must be dumb, I'm not dumb, I'm smart, I need to get more smart people like me and just find them, and all these dummies need to get out of the way. It's not that. That ain't the way. So knowing that hard lesson now that, hey, they can get there, they want to get there, it's on me to figure it out for them, sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, it sucks, but it is way better to know that than to keep pushing a boulder up a hill that ain't ever going to get there. So to get them there, what is the training? Does the training rely on multiple factors, i.e. one-to-one training, which it probably has that, on-site training, and then much more importantly, a book training that is not just written, but visual, and many other ways of being visual, whether it's reading it, seeing a video of it, having a PDF of the items, understanding the task at hand with specificity. Specificity is your friend, ambiguity is your enemy. What do I mean by that? Let's go down a very simple path of a pepperoni pizza. If a pepperoni pizza was to have 35 pepperonis on it, great. Is that enough? No, that's not enough explanation, because they could just stack them all high right on the pepperoni pizza and say, hey, you said 35, I did 35. That ain't enough, because it might be 20 on the outside, then 5, then another 5, then another 5. That would be specificity towards the 35 goal, with a photo, with a video, with no ifs, ands, or buts about, hey, here's how you do it. Now you just need to practice it, have that verified, and boom, now you know how to do it. That is specificity at hand for that one simple menu item. You do that for every menu item, every task, every inclination of what they could be possibly touching. Now you have a training program, and now staff can win. But they're only gonna want to win if you want to win with them and they have a seat on the bus. Seat on the bus means that you are a part of their success, that you want this success to occur because you are encouraging it and you're on their team. You're not their adversary. And to keep them there for the long haul truly means that they know that, and there is continuing education and continuing reasons to stay with this brand, with you, because you're the best boss they've ever had. And when they know that to be a fact and you've built up the infrastructure for that to occur, not as a one-off, but habitually, then you've beaten that hard lesson. Number 4, marketing is planting seeds. Consider yourself a farmer. That is the appropriate way to look at farming. Now, a farmer can have a harvest, right? So when you're like, oh, we're so busy, we don't need to market at all. That would be like a farmer who plants a bunch of tomatoes. Finally, those tomatoes come up and bloom, and then say, well, great, we're done. Well, I guess we'll have another batch of tomatoes next month, and next month, and next month, in perpetuity, because I see there's tomatoes now. You have to replant seeds, continue to plant seeds, and understand that what you plant today might not turn into anything for months and months and months later. Knowing that, though, that, hey, marketing is farming, and it's planting seeds, continuous seeds, and then knowing where you planted that seed so you can see if what you planted actually sprouted up, i.e. proved an ROI, changes the game and makes you significantly more agile and likely to procure success for the future. Now, what makes those seeds likely to grow? Well, authenticity, being genuine, creating connection is like having rich soil in your ground, so those seeds have the fertile area they need to potentially grow. If you are just spraying bullets of stuff and saying, hey, we make this, buy it, no connection, bad soil, that seed ain't gonna happen. That seed's not turning into nothing. So looking at it, again, like a farmer with solid, very good seeds in solid, very fertile soil is how you nurture the likelihood that your marketing turns into a return on your investment. In the simplest way, this is posting consistently on social media. Now, that could be a half-decent seed of a good photo. It gets better with video. It gets better with video that's a connection to the community and you, because you're an independent restaurant owner and I like you if you let me. So give me reasons to like you via video. Now, which platform? When do I post? How do I post it? There's plenty that could be said about that. Hey, 10 a.m., 5 p.m., only on Instagram, never on this one. More. The answer is more. Do more and more will happen. And again, assume that any platform, let's look at Instagram, is a big room. It's a big party room. And in that party room, let's say you only have 1,000 followers. That's 1,000 bodies in this room with you. And if you aren't engaging with them, it's like you went off into the corner of the room and you're like, I'm at the party. Are we at the party? I'm at the party. Are we at the party? And no one's engaging you because you're not engaging them. So when you engage them, like, hey, that's a cool watch. Love what you did there. They're like, oh, hi. Hey, did you want a free X, Y, and Z? Or I'd love to have you in for this new thing we're doing, or we got a promo going. Cool. That sounds like fun. There's probably way more marketing and sales that could be done through direct messaging than could ever be done with just a straight up post. Have you ever direct messaged a customer? If not, you really haven't engaged them. You've just said, we exist, buy from us. We exist, buy from us. And that is crappy seeds and crappy soil that probably won't produce a return on your investment of time. Again, not even money because posting costs. And number 5, the hard lesson that probably all of us, including you and me sometimes, have to hear. And that is you can't and should not do everything by yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, I just said before, hey, you should do your finances. I'm saying you should learn how to do it and then delegate it. You should know how to make the food and then delegate it. But again, so many owners feel the need to be needed. I'm the one who does it. I'm the best at doing it. I'm the super duper chef. This is all a con. You do not need to be the best person at putting up drywall to understand construction. Even better, let's look at it like a maestro of an orchestra. Do they play the oboe? No. Do they play the drums? No. They conduct the orchestra. Now, should you know how to make everything on your line? Great. You should. Cool. If you do the work for everyone, you do the side work for everyone, if you try to be their bestie to no avail, then you become a glorified employee. Glorified employee. I need to go to the grocery store to pick up the stuff because who else I can't send anyone else. You absolutely can. And if your time is that low on value that you could just disappear for 4 hours and it really doesn't matter, you're not doing it right. That could have been that video for a Facebook post or Instagram. That could have been a negotiation time with a vendor. That could have been an iteration on marketing strategy or getting your financials tight. Instead, you're in a parking lot rolling a cart filled with stuff that you could have anyone else do. Now, why are you doing that? Because of the need to be needed, or I feel comfortable doing this, so I'll just do it. Who else would I have do it? Again, that's ego, fear, and laziness absorbing your brain. It becomes a 55-year-old woman having their 32-year-old son not make their bed, and they do it for them because I like how I make the bed for them. That sounds dumb, right? Well, if you're doing the side work and all the miscellaneous tasks and then just hoping that your restaurant's going to grow because you work so hard, it's the same exact thing. And that, again, is a hard lesson to swallow. But once you do understand, I can delegate and I can own, I can market by planting seeds consistently, I can trust my employees because they want to win, and food isn't going to get me there all the time, along with me being a business owner means I have to deep dive on the business first. Now you're in a great, and I mean this truly, a great position to grow your business scale what you do, and own your day on your terms so that you can build this into a life. Running a restaurant is not easy. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. Factually, it's not easy. It shouldn't be easy, but it can become easier to the point that it one day fulfills your life on your terms, as I've said. You can do this and save yourself time, stress, and money, and then get more money by doing it this way. And remember, it is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And if you want expert advice from me, then book a restaurant review call. It's in the description below, and we will deep dive on your brand. And if you have a moment, I did this video on making your kitchen stupid efficient. I think you'll dig it. Check that out too.